right, we may have some more people enter, but I'm going to get us started. Thank you for being here. I've got a great class planned. You want to get started getting comfortable on your mat or in a chair, if that's where you are today. Just find your most comfortable seated position. Turn the volume down just a little bit. There we go. All right, it is 10 o'clock. Welcome everybody. Delighted to have you here today. We're gonna be talking a little bit through class today about releasing fear, which is something that, you know, any kind of emotion, fear, anxiety, all of those negative emotions actually damage our bodies. And this time in the world, things are scary. So yoga and meditation are both tools that can help you release things like fear so that you are maximizing the ability of your body to heal and thrive. That's another good word there. So finding that comfortable seat on the mat, grounding your sit bones down, adjusting as needed, finding a comfortable spot to rest your hands. Oh, I've got to adjust this. It's not. 1 second. Sorry. Got some weirdness with the hold on 1 second. Sorry, just give me a second. I'm trying to make it show me the. Nope, it's not doing it. Let's see, maybe I need a different view. Let's try this. Oh, Zoom. Forget it. All right, here we go. So, taking that comfortable seat, grounding the sit bones down, relaxing the shoulders, lifting through the spine, lengthening. Imagine that ribbon tied to the crown of your head, just lifting you up taller. We're going to start with some breath work, the yogic breath work. It's called pranayama. And I want you to close your eyes and just connect with your breath. On each inhale, filling your belly up completely like a balloon. And on each slow exhale, bringing your belly button in towards your spine, emptying that whole area out. So with eyes closed and comfortable seated position, take a couple of deep breaths. And fully come onto the mat. Let your day go. Start to find that still place at your center. Maybe set an intention for the class today related to fear. I wrote some down. Maybe something like, I release all fear. I am safe and confident. You know, something that you can come back to as sort of a touchstone through class. We're going to start now. Just come back to normal breathing. We're going to do something called relaxing breath. It's a great thing to do anytime you feel anxious. And it's a 3-count breath. And you want to put your tongue on the floor of your mouth, touching the backs of your bottom teeth. And you inhale through the nose for 3, and then exhale through the mouth for 3 with that tongue pressing against the teeth. So let's try it. Inhale for 3, exhale. We're going to do 3 rounds. Inhale. And again. And one more. Good. Keeping the eyes closed, check in with the body and notice if you feel anywhere more relaxed already. When I do that, I feel a release through the neck and shoulders, just a release of tension that I hold there. So check in with your body and notice if you're feeling any more openness, any more of that relaxation from just those 4 breaths. This is a good thing to remember when you're stressed. We're going to take a neck stretch, reaching up to the top of the head with the right hand and out with the left. Gently pull that ear down toward the shoulder. Getting a Zoom notification. Hold on. There we go. Still breathing deep into the belly. Goodness. I don't know what is going on with Zoom today. This is crazy. All right, there we go. Well, still staying on that same side, breathing slowly. I don't know why I'm not seeing. Oh man, all right. Zoom is not going well today. I don't know what's happening. I teach on Zoom all the time, it never does this. Okay, so we're still on this side. I want you to release and bring the hand up to the top of the head. Oh, the perils of technology. Welcome to the person who just came in. Didn't see a name. I admitted you and Zoom went crazy. So breathing deep in the belly here, reaching through the fingertips, gently pulling that ear down towards your shoulder. We're stretching all the muscles in the neck that help control respiration. Good way to start any yoga practice, stretching the neck. One more breath on this side. And release, let the neck float up. And then I want you to nod. So bringing the chin down to the chest. Inhale, looking up to the ceiling. I'm going to do 4 of these. Slowly stretching in the back of the neck. And gently, here comes somebody else. I have to change my settings here. All right. Welcome, Cindy. All right. Good, and come back to center. One more neck stretch. We're going to look right and left. Looking way over the shoulder as you're able to. And then all the way over to the other side. Inhaling one direction. exhaling the opposite. Remember to always be gentle with yourself through practice. Yoga should never hurt. You feel any kind of sharp pain, you need to stop whatever it is you're doing. Pull back, rest. If you get out of breath, you always want to come back to the breath. As I said in the last class, even if you're just doing the breathing and sitting on your mat, which is what I did when I first started yoga practice 20 years ago, and I was so sick with OCD, so sick. And I would cry on the mat. I just would cry with the effort. But slowly, I got better. So hopefully that's an inspiration for you. All right, coming back to center. I'm going to take a gentle side stretch. So bringing the right hand out to the side, bringing the left hand up overhead, gently coming down. Reaching through those fingertips, supporting yourself with that right arm. If you're flexible enough, you may come all the way down to the elbow. Just go to where you feel that good stretch all along the side of the torso and continue to relax more into it on each exhale. Releasing more with each breath. One more breath on this side. And then inhale back up and switch sides. Adjusting it. Just stay on this side. Staying with those slow deep breaths. I will fix this for the next class. Trying to relax more into it on each exhale. And on an inhale, coming back up to center. Good. If you are sitting in easy pose, I want you to switch which foot is on top. So, and I know that can feel kind of awkward sometimes, but if you have your legs stacked, it's good to switch which ones are on top so that you get an even stretch. We're going to take a gentle twist here. So I want you to inhale and reach up overhead, and then we're going to turn right. So bringing the left hand to the knee, the right hand behind you, looking over the shoulder, lifting through the top of the head. Really looking over the shoulder so that you stretch the muscles of the eyes. I'm going to take one more breath on this side. And come back to center. Again, inhale up and twist. The breath is slightly constricted here, but stay with the deep belly breaths. Lengthening in the spine as you twist. Good. And release once more back to center. And we're going to walk the hands out and just come into a forward fold. Just go, you may not go very far. You want to keep the sit bones grounded. Just walk out until you feel that stretch in the glutes. Keeping that length in the spine. You don't want to like cave over here, curving the spine. You want to keep that length. Filling the belly on each inhale. And then walk the hands back up, coming back up to seated once more. Now, we are going to come over onto the hands and knees and do cat-cow. Actually, you know what? We're going to do seated cat-cow today. All right, so it's just like cat-cow, which I think we did last week, but you can keep the hands on the knees or bring them up by the shoulders. I'll show you the motion. We're going to undulate the spine with the breath. So you arch the spine back, bringing the head down. This is cat. And for cow, you bring the belly forward, look up to the ceiling, dropping the shoulders. So it's that motion, okay? Always exhaling as you come forward and inhaling as you open up. And one of the things with releasing fear, which our theme is for today, is about when you have, about opening the heart. The more you can open the heart center and sort of be present with fear, the less power it has, basically. So in these poses where you're opening through the chest, you want to try to maximize that as you come forward with the chest. Let's do 3 more of these. Really expanding through the chest when you bring it forward. The Course in Miracles says everything is either love or fear. We all want more love, right? Less fear. All right, should feel kind of good. Wonderful. Now, we are going to come over onto hands and knees, so make your way over, however that happens. And come into table with wrists directly below the shoulders, knees directly below the hips. I'm going to take a couple of hip circles. So bring your hips way over the left, way back towards your heels, way over the right, and forward. Slow, exhaling as you go back towards your heels, inhaling as you come forward toward the hands. One more in this direction. And then reverse. Do 3 in the opposite direction. Really stretching out the hips. Hopefully you don't hear snap, crackle, pop like I do. So funny. My RA isn't active anymore, but I got a lot of snap, crackle, pops. Okay, now I want you to walk the hands out to the end of the mat. We're going to do what's called puppy. And you want to, you could just, I mean, if this is enough for you right here, just holding here, but with the pose, you want to shift the hips to where they are directly over the knees and stretch underneath the arms. So bringing the body down toward the mat. You can rest your chin or forehead on the mat if that's, if you're that flexible. but you want to make sure that the hips stay over the knees. And just find that stretch in all the muscles underneath the arms, down toward the obliques. Pressing the knees down into the mat, pressing the palms down into the mat. Breathing slowly and deeply here. One more breath. Good. And then come back up, walk the hands back in. And we are going to press up into plank. And I'm going to give a lot of options here. You can keep the knees on the ground. You can have straight arms or come down on the elbows and just, try with one leg and then the other, that kind of thing. Just do what you can today. I fully remember not being able to put any weight on my wrists. So just do what you can. But building some arm strength will really help you. So just try, but be gentle with yourself. And if you can't do much of this today, that's okay. You stay with the self-love, okay? So I'll do mine on my elbows today and lift. Just do what you can. Challenge yourself just a bit, but only do what your body tells you it can do today. Take a couple of breaths here. And then on an exhale, I want you to come all the way down on the belly. And we're going to do cobra. So make a pillow for your hands, stacking your palms one on top of the other, and bringing your forehead down on your palms. Take a couple of breaths here. While I describe cobra. With cobra, you want to make your feet, legs, hips one unit. It's your cobra tail. And you're going to press them down into the mat actively throughout the pose. You press them against each other, try that, and you press them down into the mat. Pressing the pelvis down, activating the muscles of the legs, okay? Now, I want you to bring your hands, fingers spread wide, under your shoulders. And you're going to rest your forehead down on the mat. And you need to bring your elbows tightly into the waist. They should be touching your body throughout the pose. Now, we're going to lift the head when I say on an inhale. So there's a lot to think about in this pose. It's a very beneficial pose on many levels. But it's another one, it's a gentle back bend. And I want you to think about, again, as we are with all of these poses today, when we're talking about releasing fear, open up through the chest when you come up. Now, you may not come up very far, and that's okay. But you don't want to use your arm strength here. You want to use the strength of your spine and your upper back muscles. All right, I'll quit talking. On an inhale, not using your arms and hands, I want you to lift the head up and come up off the mat. Keeping those elbows in tight, pressing the pelvis and the legs and feet down into the mat. Lifting through the top of the head. Try to relax the shoulders. Deep, slow breaths. And then make a pillow over your hands again and bring the head down. to that pillow. We are going to come up again once more, okay? But take a breath or two. All right, bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, elbows in tight, spine long, press the hips down into the mat, and on an inhale, lift up. Wiggle your fingers so you know you're not using your arm strength here. Test yourself just a little bit so that you know you're increasing the strength of your upper back and spine here. Open up through the chest, press the legs down into the mat. One more deep, slow breath. Good, and then make a pillow for your hands one last time. Very nice. All right, now we're gonna do a balance on our bellies called locust. Bring your arms down at your sides, palms facing down, fingers spread wide. And this balance, you wanna rest on your hips and pubic bone here, and we're gonna lift the arms, lift the legs, and lift the head. And again, just do what you can. You may not hold it very long. You wanna begin on an inhale, lifting up the arms, lifting up the legs, lifting up the head, like you're flying through the air, really reaching through each limb. Deep, slow breaths. Lift, 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 lift. And then release back down. Rest your head. Take a breath or two here. You can make a pillow again if you want. From here, we are going to push back and move into table once more. So however you get there is fine, but we want to push up to table, and we're gonna push up to a brief downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So coming back to table, when you're ready, tucking the toes under, spreading the fingers wide, lifting the tailbone up toward the ceiling, and taking a few breaths, walking your dog, meaning bending one knee and then the other. Trying to stretch out those tight calves. It helps to put weight in each finger instead of just your wrist, especially if you have pain in the wrists from RA. This can be difficult. Just do what you can, and when you need to, just come back down to hands and knees. Pause and rest whenever you need it. All right. Now from here, we are going to walk the hands all the way up between the hands. Walk the feet all the way up between the hands. Or step, hop, jump, whatever it takes. And come into forward fold. So I'll turn here so you can see me here in forward fold. And then bend the knees. And we're going to slowly roll up to standing. And I need to adjust my camera. So come up to standing in Tadasana, mountain pose. This should be enough. All right. Here we are. Now, mountain pose seems like you're just standing there, but there's so much more going on than that. You want to actively press the feet down into the mat which activates the legs. So you should feel that lift in the legs because you're pressing down. You don't want to lock the knees. Slight tuck to the pelvis so that the spine is lengthened. It's just a micro movement. Release the shoulders down. Let the hands just fall into a natural resting place here. But you're lifting through the spine, lifting through the top of the head. I want you to close your eyes for a couple of minutes here. Imagine opening across the chest, but feel this posture, this perfect posture, this lift, this activation of the legs. Just feel what that feels like in your body, because this is how we're meant to move through the world. And especially if you deal with chronic pain, you're often hunched against the pain, and we're not moving through the world this way. We're kind of, not in good posture. So training your body just to be in this position is such a good practice. So this is something you could do a little of each day. Just stand in mountain pose. Let's take one more breath here, feeling that openness through the chest. And I want you to imagine here, inhaling courage and exhaling fear forcefully. So I'm going to demonstrate. So inhale through the nose, forceful exhale through the mouth. We're going to do 3 of these. Inhaling courage, exhaling fear. Lovely. Now, we're going to do what I call the Titanic pose. It doesn't actually have a real name. I want you to bring the arms out into a T and bring your weight forward towards your toes, leaning forward, reaching the arms back and lifting the head up in an almost joyful way. Thinking about, I just imagine Rose on the front of the Titanic in this pose. So leaning forward, lifting, opening through the chest, opening the heart center as you lean forward. Imagine that ribbon at the top, crown of your head lifting you up taller as you lean forward. Let's take another deep, slow breath here. And release back down. Good. Let's take a couple of shoulder rolls here. I don't know about you, but my shoulders get so tight, especially when I sit at the computer. If you've done a couple forward, do a couple back. Good. All right. Now, we are going to do a side stretch here that's called crescent, and you're meant to be in a crescent moon shape. I'm actually going to come back so you can see my hands better. Inhale, reach up and bring the hands to prayer, right, overhead. And lift up a couple of inches taller. Reach, 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 and then lean to the right, forming a crescent moon shape with your body. Lengthening all along that left side, pressing down into the feet, reaching through the fingertips. Just do what you can. This can be a challenging pose. The breath is constricted here, but stay with those deep breaths, bringing it down into the belly. And then on an inhale, coming back up to center, take a breath. And then lift up, tall, 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 and go to the left. Keep reaching, keep pressing down into the mat. One more breath. And back up to center. Bring the hands back to heart center. I'm going to come back up onto the mat here. Okay, lovely. Now, as our balance today, we're going to try chair. Also a challenging pose, just do what you can. So with chair, or Utkatasana, you want to have your feet hip width apart, and it's important that you don't let your knees come together in this pose. You want to keep them equidistant apart, okay? So on an inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and then sit back like you're sitting down in a chair, lengthening through the arms, lengthening through the spine, and the chair is just behind you. You're about to sit down. Come down as low as you are able, listening to your body always throughout every yoga class. Whatever your body needs today, we're here to nurture our bodies on the mat. Definitely not to harm them or overexert them. Just do what you can. Even if you're just doing the breathing, as I always say, you are getting benefit. So breathe deep into the belly. Good. And then release back up. Bring the hands back to heart center and stand in Tadasana, taking a few deep breaths. Maybe with the eyes closed. Notice where you're holding any tension. Try to relax it. We check our time. Stay with the breathing. Okay. Good. All right. One more breath. Now we're going to do a long forward fold here. Uttanasana. So bringing the hands down to your sides, I want you to inhale and reach up overhead, bringing the hands together. Gentle upward salute, meaning tiny back bend, leaning back, looking up to the hands, bringing the hips forward. Exhale, coming back to standing. Then we're going to swan dive forward. We're going to do a couple of half sun salutations and then take a long Uttanasana. So when you're inhale, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me better. Inhale, bring the hands just below the knees and lengthen in the spine. Your upper body parallel to the mat. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, all the way back up. Look to the hands. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Look to the hands. Exhale, hands to heart center. And again, inhaling up. Exhale, fold. Halfway up. Exhale, fold. All the way up. And exhale back to center. Beautiful. more swan dive forward. Inhale up, swan dive forward, and come into Uttanasana, and you can grab opposite elbows and shift your weight back and forth for ragdoll, or just grab behind your legs. Whatever feels good to you today. Press the feet down, legs are active, and your seat reaching up, tailbone reaching up towards the ceiling, but the upper body is just dead weight here. Let it just hang down heavy. Any tension that you're holding, rolling off of you like water off a duck's back. Try not to lock the knees here. There should be a little bit of give. We're going to stay here for 4 more slow breaths. We're heading back down to the mat after this. You can shake the head yes and no a couple of times. Releasing any tension in the neck. Wonderful. All right, when you're ready, I'd like you to come down onto the knees, if that's possible for you, and tuck the toes under. This is called broken toe pose. And I used to say, my body will never do that pose. It's especially hard for people who have worn high heels their whole life, but it stretches out the tendons in the feet that get so tight and can make walking difficult as you age. So try to tuck them under and gently stretch. But if it's excruciating, don't do it. For me, it's a good stretch. Some people, this is an easy pose. If it's too easy for you, you can walk your hands back and get a little more stretch there. When you've had it, tuck the feet under for thunderbolt pose and sit back, getting that counter pose, stretching the feet in opposite direction. Good. And then I want you to come into child's pose, meaning bringing your torso down to the knees, bringing the hands around behind you, resting them gently there, bringing your forehead down to the mat. And I want you to take 3 or 4 slow, deep breaths here. This pose is supremely restful for the nervous system. And as I said last week, with MCTD, UCTD, our nervous systems are overactive. And anything we can do throughout the day to calm our nervous systems down helps us to heal. So, relaxing in this pose is supremely beneficial. Let's take one more breath here. Good. And coming back up, we're going to move over onto our seats and down onto our backs. So shift as needed to come down. And then bring the knees into the chest, hugging them in tightly, like a best friend or a grandchild. We're heading towards the most restful part of class. So if you want to rock here, that is a good massage for the spine. And then take a knee in each palm and rock, massaging the low back. Good. Let's rotate the ankles a couple of times. Show the ankles a little love. Just go a couple of times in each direction. Good. Now, straightening the legs out, we're going to do a reclined twist. Starting with the right leg, I want you to lift it up, bringing the arms out in a T shape. The leg should be in an L shape. And we're going to bring that right knee across the body, but you want to try to keep the hips and shoulders grounded here. So gently bringing that knee across the body, pressing that left hip down into the mat, keeping both shoulders on the mat. And then look to the right hand and hold here for 3 deep, slow breaths. Now I want you to inhale, bring that knee back to center, and hug that knee in, avoiding the rib cage if you can, kind of coming around outside of it, and pulling that knee in, taking 2 breaths here. And then release that knee back down. And I want you to adjust your hips, kind of rock them back and forth, and your shoulders to make sure the spine is in alignment once again. Bring the arms out, bring that opposite leg up, and bring it across the body, looking to the left hand. You know what? I need to adjust my camera once more. Here we go. Get the time on edit. Okay, good. Oh, marvelous. Let's take one more. One more deep, slow breath on this side. And then release back to center and hug that knee in one more time. and release. Now, bring both knees up, keeping the arms out to the side. I want you to drop the knees to the left, looking to the right. And drop the knees to the right, looking to the left. Kind of windshield wipering them, right? Back to center, over to the left. Back to center, over to the right. Alexa, skip this song. And then come back to center once more. Good. Now, we're going to do, before Shavasana, goddess pose. So let's start by coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. If this is available to you, you want to grab each ankle, bring the soles of the feet together, and open the knees up. And just hold and breathe. Really, gravity does most of the work here. But you do want to press the feet together. Let the knees open up. You might feel this in your hip flexors. Take a couple of slow breaths. We're really slowing down. Moving toward the best pose. And then, keeping the feet together, set them down on the mat, as close into the body or as far away from the body as is comfortable for you. This is goddess pose. I like to slightly tuck my lower back here to release and let my spine lengthen. And you bring your arms out in what they call cactus arms or field goal arms. Elbows out to the side, hands up overhead. This is goddess pose. Take a couple of breaths here. Once more, imagine opening across the chest. That can feel scary sometimes, but the more we can be open and expansive in our heart center, the more we are present in our life and enjoying our life without fear. I want you to take 3 more deep breaths here. I'm going to share a quote with you that I found about fear that I thought was beautiful and relevant. It's from a poet named John Mark Green. And he says, if you want to tap into what life has to offer, let love be your primary mode of being, not fear. Fear closes us down and makes us retreat. It locks doors and limits opportunities. Love is about opening to possibilities, seeing the world with new eyes. It widens our heart and our minds. Fear incarcerates, but love liberates. I thought that was lovely. When you're ready, I want you to make your way into your most comfortable position on your mat for Shavasana. I like to use pillow under my head, pillow under my knees to release the spine more. I like to cover my eyes from the light so that I get a deeper level of relaxation. And if your home is cold, maybe a blanket. So make your way into that supremely comfortable position, corpse pose or Shavasana. Many yogis say that it is the most important pose. And I always share that. I know I said this last week, but Shavasana is where you integrate everything that you did on the mat that day. And it is the ultimate rest for your nervous system. So find your way into that pose. I'm going to talk you into a more relaxed state and then hold space for you for the few minutes of Shavasana. So relax everything from head to toe. Imagine your body just sort of sinking deeper down into the mat. Let everything be heavy and soft, like a pillow. Relax the feet and the legs. Feel the full weight and volume of your legs just sinking down into the floor. Relax the hips and the torso. Letting it be soft and heavy, all your organs functioning perfectly in harmony, exactly as they were designed. Relax the shoulders down, imagine them melting like ice to water. And relaxing down the arms, the wrists and the hands, and each finger. Relaxing the neck and head, softening the jaw, softening through the eyes. Imagine them going deeper down into their sockets. Relaxing all the tiny muscles in the face and on the scalp. Allowing the breath to just rise and fall naturally. Thoughts will inevitably come up, but just let them go. Notice them like clouds, and then let them just drift by. And allow yourself for the next few minutes to go into a state of deep, healing relaxation. you're ready to come back from this deeply relaxed state, really take your time. Wiggle fingers and toes, maybe rolling over onto your right side and taking a few breaths there before you transition back to a seated position for closing. I hope you take some of these thoughts about releasing fear out with you into your day and into the days ahead, and that you've connected with that still place within you that's always safe, always secure, always calm, and that you can take that feeling of peace and calm with you as well. I'm so grateful to be sharing these practices with you all. I apologize for the tech troubles today. Don't know what Zoom was up to. Let's close as a community, saying, the divine light within me recognizes and honors the divine light within each of you. Namaste. I hope you have a great rest of your day.